Hello.
I think we're live.
We think we're live.
We got the silly thing with only the one dot again.
And yeah, we're sitting right next to the thingy.
I don't know if it means anything or not, to be honest. But hopefully they'll come on and say our stream is going all right. But we have cats in the background.
Yes.
As we usually do.
Now we have cat tree in the background.
Yeah. Some sort of
it's plentiful with cat fruit.
Cat is usually on the scene here. We're gonna get tails. Yeah. We're what's up?
So yeah, what are we
Well, we had to sneak out of the Shed Wars live early, but hopefully we get to
we'll go back and watch the end of it.
Yeah, watch the replay and see what we missed out on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't see that until after we posted.
Yeah. Hey, Walsh Hills, how are you doing? Hockey got canceled. Oh. Hopefully not for a COVID reason.
I was going to say, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh.
I suppose it could be either.
Yeah, well. You could do something else for a little while. Join us. It works out well, I suppose. But, yeah, so how are things going on the homestead? Hopefully well.
Yeah, I don't know, things are going pretty good here.
Hi, Red Burning Fires. I'm still on like Freeze Live on the TV.
Oh, we have a hard time doing the
multiple things. We should have tried to figure out how to stay in Shed Wars 1 and do everything, but it doesn't. We don't function well multitasking that way.
Yeah, I'd be afraid
hey, Chris Dixon.
Log things down too much. He's multitasking too.
Chris, you can inform us if we're missing something important. We did try and tune in for the beginning there, and yeah, it was good information. I think a lot of it repeated information, but good information.
Yeah,
we're ready. I think.
We think. We even harvested something today.
Yes, we did. Hey, Remy, how you doing? I'm not sure I know Chris is out, Alberta. I'm not sure where Red Burning Fires is, but hopefully everybody had good weather today. We had, when I drove to town, it was 19 on the car. The car
pretty warm for
19 Celsius. I don't know what that. Hang on, I can quickly figure that out in Fahrenheit. But yes, for March, it is crazy warm.
And our cat just fell off the tree.
19 Celsius.
Chris Dixon is funny. I said, "It's John. You ain't missing anything."
Yes.
Well, it's good that the weather's good up your way too, Remy. So I know you're usually going to be a bit behind us, but
well, and you had the sap running. Hey, Sue, how are you doing? And Deborah, good to see you guys. Girls.
In, Southwestern Washington.
Southwestern Washington. Okay. 55 Fahrenheit. Yes. So I just did a quick calculation on my phone. So the 19 degrees today was 66 Fahrenheit. So that's not too bad.
For March, that's pretty warm.
I guess I think I said 62 when I was blabbing earlier, but 66 is what it actually is. That's pretty impressive.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah.
You're getting good at this conversion thing in your head. I can't do it.
Oh, I don't know if I'm getting good at it, but they had Chris, you had 3 inches of snow last night, then 10 degrees this afternoon. I know, all up and down. Next week, we're supposed to be back below zero again, but we're supposed to get, what was it, Saturday I said? We're supposed to get 40 mil of rain. No.
Friday.
Friday was 40 mil of rain, and then either Sunday or Monday is another 40 mil of rain, which we need because water tables are low. But
that being said, depending on where you are, it's if
the ground's not unthawed,
it's just going to run off. So
yeah,
that's always interesting in itself. We're pretty good at where we are, but
yeah, we've kind of developed a bit of a mud pit here at the moment.
Not really compared to where we used to live.
Well, yes, that's true. Parts have dried out really well and parts are quite mucky. But yeah, I think it's working quite well so far.
Mm-hmm.
We do love this property for the fact that it drains really well and seems to...
It's a nice part of living on a sand dune.
Yes.
A beach dune.
Yes, an old sand dune. They were 16 there. So.
Yeah, it really is.
Hey, Manuakers.
Hello, guys. It really is too warm for March. Like, because we were thinking back to even last year. This is where our brains work in remembering things in relation to livestock and gardens. But our geese are just kind of, I don't know, they're really coming up to probably laying some eggs here. Within the week, I would imagine.
I would imagine we'll start finding.
But we were thinking back to last year, and it would have been the same time, roughly, give or take a few days. And like the eggs were freezing, and like it was totally not like this. So
no,
it's amazing how much of a roller coaster the weather is anymore.
Hey, Hitch a Chick.
You're not really late.
You're not late. No, you're just in time.
According to the clock, it's only 4 minutes, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we operate. I think most of our friends know. Don't expect us for at least 15, 20 minutes after what we aimed for.
We've been getting better, but
a little bit better. But Joe and Sue still have lots of snow. How did the maple syrup go for you guys? Did you get lots? I know they're kind of saying with it being so warm this week that might be the end of it. So wonder how you guys did.
I imagine in our area it will.
Our area, anyways.
Super short.
Like tonight, we're only the low tonight is +10, I think, or +8, and then tomorrow is +10. The day that it's raining
was still pretty warm.
It was
8 or something.
I don't think we go below 0 all week. So,
Hi, Bettina.
Hey, Bettina. Yeah, me and you, we have almost no snow, and that's crazy for us. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because you guys are quite a bit.
You're more
like Bancroft area, right? So yeah. But yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. And next year it'll be something completely different.
Well,
we'll be still under snow and ice and.
You watch, because we have the sheep are all lambing end of April, and I said this is the year that it will be snow and miserable. The end of April, when you think, oh, that's going to be a perfect time, there won't be any issues.
We've had that before, because one of the years we lambed out, it was end of April, and because it was Easter, and that was a year it was late, and it was like, it wasn't an ice storm, it was like a slushy snow. We went from having green pastures, kind of what you would expect, to like, this much slushy snow and everything, and there was lambs arriving. It was everything survived, but it goes to show you how hardy they are.
Yeah, we had, and we knew it was going to happen. As soon as they called for it, we said everybody's going to have their babies that day. I just know it.
Well, they're 45 minutes east, so they're actually a little closer to us.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Still a little bit of a drive.
Little jaunt, but it's still doable in the world of
in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Well, we see all these American channels talking about their little get-togethers and things like that, which I think is awesome, because you build quite a community, and it's really, really nice to, know that one day you could maybe do that. I was trying to see, because I'd done a picture of.
Yeah, that's good that the buds haven't started to come out, because that's the red maple behind the barn.
Oh yeah,
is already budded out. Like, I know they do it a little early anyways, but we saw, I forget, I think we said this in a live before, but it was January, we saw one somewhere.
The Pussybills?
It was the red maple, so the buds were already starting to it wasn't here, but it was in our area. It's just like, that's crazy. But I know a little further south, people are already seeing like snakes and turtles and stuff out. But
it's crazy.
The water's still frozen here, so we haven't heard any. It was the telltales, like the spring peepers. I haven't heard any of them yet, but the American woodcocks came back. We had that one last night.
Last night too, and we saw our first phoebe today.
Yep, first eastern phoebe. So that's on the early side of them coming back, but the birds are coming back. They want it to be spring.
Yes.
They just keep testing it. For some of them.
I'm trying to see what day it was that the snow. Remember, with all the lambs were in the backyard and it snowed like so bad. Trying to see what day that was.
Scrolling through photos.
I can't. You'll never find it. I know, it's going to be one of those silly things. Oh well. I wanted to say what. Oh, there it is.
Hello, Thorhaven.
Hey, Thorhaven. How you guys doing tonight? It was May 8th. I don't know if I can even show this. We'll see.
Try it.
This, oh, of course, it puts all the stinking writing in front.
We're going to try something.
Okay, I'm going to see if this will show. This was our backyard with the sheep. Hang on May 8th. Let's see. No, it's not going to show. This is special.
It showed. It's all late.
That was May 8th last year. So I have a feeling we're in for it this year. But anyways, I wanted to see what the date was, because it was last year that all the lambs and the sheep, and we had them out eating the lawn, and it just snowed. I think it was almost 2 inches of snow. So fast.
But
anyways, no, total digression from what we were actually discussing, really. But
so maple syrup. So we haven't actually done it, but there's some others on here who have some expertise in it, but we've participated in it. Basically, you tap it. So you take the sap out of the tree, collect it, and then you boil it down to the consistency that you want. You basically
a lot of people have big evaporators.
The water.
But you can, on a small scale, you can do it with a pot on a stove. It just might take the paint off your ceiling.
Yeah. It takes a while.
I remember my grandmother telling stories about making maple syrup at home, and the wallpaper would come off. And
was it like 41?
Yeah, 40 liters, I think, makes 1 liter. Someone,
so you need a lot.
Joe and Sue might be able to give us better information on that, but I think it's 40 to 1.
Yeah, Joe and Sue would know a lot better.
Mm-hmm. Our hound dog was eating counter and just came and gave us, because that's nice. That's almost as good as rolling in dead stuff.
Yeah.
Our pigs were like that today. They were out in the pasture breaking up cow pies, and then they would come over and want to give you attention and be petted, and they were just disgusting.
The boar was funny because he wanted his belly rubbed.
Oh yeah, Remy's doing the maple syrup as well. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, and definitely.
Yes. Watch videos.
We've got to watch some of your videos too. We've been kind of behind, but
it's spring cleanup, and it just is like you come in at 8:30 and you eat quickly, and then it's like, oh, okay, what can we get a couple in, and then you get sucked into lives, eh?
We're sucking you in.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, 40 to 1. That's actually funny too.
Yes. How are the little goat babies, me and you? They were super cute on your live yesterday. Yeah,
41.
Yeah, 40 to 1. Perfect.
We have plans. We basically knew we weren't going to get there this year, so we did look into purchasing some equipment to do it, because we have a few trees. We could have done it. We knew we weren't going to have the time and whatnot, so we kind of said we'll put it off another year.
Yeah, next year we would like to. We've got a really nice. Maybe we'll do a little video on it at some point this summer. But
it's a small area.
On the back of our one pasture that we're hoping to fence this year, we have a row of sugar maples. There's probably maybe 30 trees there. Some of them are smaller. Some of them are like, getting at least a foot diameter.
Oh, they're bigger than that.
Maybe bigger, yeah.
They're big enough to
be able to put a couple.
They're not crazy big. But there may be a few others around. We kind of don't have. We have more oak, actually. It's mostly like red oak. Then we do sugar maple.
Yeah.
It's all right too.
Yeah, exactly. So
different uses.
Well, and what was the? Oh, it was the black maple.
Oh, black maple is a really good one, but we don't have any of that.
No, but if we were in plants.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I was saying to you. It's because we were even talked about maybe putting building a small sugar shack back where the maples are, so you don't have to bring all this stuff up. But I'm like, the downside is when you get going, you got to stay there until you're done.
And my data plan would not like that on my phone.
What's wrong with that? You still got to come up and do everything else.
Well, but I mean, it'd be a great opportunity to catch up on videos while I sat there waiting for the syrup, but my data plan would not agree.
Well, true.
Oh, and you got more. How many have you got?
Oh. Yeah, I don't think we've figured.
I don't think. Yeah, we have. We're terrible because we have to go back and watch some videos and catch up. This is where I like the lives, because the information sticks so much better for me when we're in a live and we chit chat, and then I remember things better. Oh, I do.
Well, hopefully it goes well. Usually the goats aren't too bad. We didn't When we had the goats, we didn't have too many issues. A
No.
couple over the years.
I assisted with one.
Yeah, and early on I had one pretty bad issue, but that's a different story.
That was almost human error, though.
Well, not almost, it was.
It was human error. I didn't.
I was thinking about that one.
Thought it meant me and you. Maybe it does as well. I thought that as well. But no, wait a minute. No. Oh, this is like, did anybody ever play that game, watch that game show Bumper Stumpers? This is what it's like. It's like, what does it mean? Is there different? Now I remember I'm not even going to dare to guess.
See, in some ways it would be nice to not have the cell coverage. You just kind of
no. You're just as addicted.
Wow.
Yes. We're in the same thing. We are trying so hard to keep up with everybody, and it's as you grow. And then of course we're in the Shed Wars, so we followed everybody with that. Like today was the start of Shed Wars, so everybody's posting videos, and we tried to watch as many as we could. And it's getting to the point where it's like you're up at 12 o'clock at night still watching videos, and it's like, we can't keep doing this. We got to go to sleep. So they got 2 mamas this year. Well, that's good. Then the stress will be over after this one, and you can just enjoy it.
Well, it's kind of nice too that they were very close together, because we had times where some of them were like a month behind or 2 months behind.
If we missed the cycle, and then one goat, we'd be waiting for one goat to have her kids.
And that just made it awkward.
Yeah, and then they would be so much younger. It was just, you had to hold up the whole herd for those 2 to catch up, kind of thing, for pasturing, for everything. Somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah, goats are cute. Goats are cute, especially when they're babies. They're a little less cute when they're full-size bucks, but still, they have their moments.
Yeah.
So it's both.
Okay, so it is. There you go.
Hello, Paragon Ridge.
Hey,
How are you guys tonight?
Hopefully well. And hopefully the weather is as good down there as it has been up here. Boy, it's been really, really hard to resist getting into doing stuff in the gardens and outside. Like we peeked at some of our mulch stuff today.
A little bit.
Just to kind of look. You know, anybody who watched our video the other day, they saw we snuck a peek at the garlic, but we covered it right back up because we know it's going to get cold again. But it was growing under there, which is so exciting.
Yeah, that is very exciting.
This is our first time growing garlic. So
I'm going to go back to Deborah's question there, because no, we haven't finished the greenhouse yet. That being said, by the end of
I cleaned it out.
Well, yeah, it's cleaned out.
And we took the plants that were in it out. Yeah,
because they can come out now. So all we have to do is cowl in. We have to finish the door. And we've got a couple small gaps, but even with those, it's pretty nice in there.
Yeah.
And we've got like the triangle. I'm doing it right. There we go. The triangle.
Yeah, the little peak.
That we need to.
And we have windows. We now have 2 windows that are going into that space. And then we're just we made the decision just to box the rest in with wood. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to hinder the light that much, especially with the clear ceiling.
Yeah, not by the time, because we do have the one smaller window to go inside.
But we're running out of space in the house for everything, so it does have to get done.
We haven't even got.
And we haven't done tomatoes yet.
Fully started yet. No, we've got a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. But Chris is already, what did you order? It was 18 grow lights that he ordered earlier this year we set them all up in the grow room, and then we've had to raid them for starting some seedlings for the garden.
So I have to order
and so, round. Yes, we are now going to, once tax money comes in, order some more grow lights. So I think we're going to do another 18. Hopefully our electric thingy can handle it, but
the LEDs aren't too bad.
No, they're not too bad.
That would be kind of nice to already be fishing and stuff.
Oh,
you guys are so far ahead of us. But it's good.
We could ice fish. No, you probably couldn't even ice fish now. No. I noticed on our pond though, there's about 2 feet of water all the way around the big ice blob.
I imagine the the salamanders will be coming already.
Yeah.
Because they usually start to come before the frogs start to sing. So if we went and looked at night, you'd probably find some spotted salamanders.
Yeah. Well, they'll be soon. I'm sure we're going to hear frogs this week.
Hopefully
that doesn't affect them next week when it gets all cold again. But thorium, not done the greenhouse.
Yeah, we're very, very close. We kind of put it up. We got to a certain point in the fall, and then it was kind of like, well, we're not going to get it done. We did some other projects that we kind of absolutely needed to.
But now we need the greenhouse.
This weekend, and then we're going to get our shelves set up.
He says that there's a lot on the agenda for this weekend.
True.
But the nice thing is the ground is still way too frozen for fencing, so that's not going to cut into the time yet. So
and we can't really do any actual garden work too. That's a long way off too.
Yeah. The ground is still. You got kind of 2 inches or so of real muck, and then it's hard under there. So we've got a while before the frost is really gone.
Oh, their frogs are going crazy. Ours will. As soon as we get that, what did you say it was? 40 millimeters of rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's on Friday.
How much is 40 millimeters?
4 centimeters, which is a little under 2 inches. I think 50 millimeters is 2 inches. I want to say.
Chris has got some, or Tiffany's got some intel.
Oh, the Spring Innovation Gladiator Challenge due date. Yes, we need to come up with a plan for that.
I'm going to write that down.
Remind yourself.
We've been brainstorming, but we haven't.
The one thing we're finding really hard about this challenge is because we can't get into the garden yet. It's really hard to come up with something that seems innovative at this point. Because unless it can chip ice,
we don't even have that much of that. No, left.
But
thank you for
reminding.
That
thank you, because that is something that did slip, and that is only 4 days. What is that? That's going to be Saturday.
We can figure something out.
And we have to have the video posted by Saturday. That's how I knew that we didn't have to be doing Saturdays. So if anybody's got any great ideas.
That's a good, the elevated beds.
Hi, Shawnee Shave. I also did not say hi if you spoke before. So.
I don't think so. But
hi.
But yeah, the hoop houses and elevated beds. That's a good thing. We have a plan for kind of a modified hoop house each.
Well, we had a bit of a learning curve we just kind of did a temporary one over the one bed this year and hoped that it was just purely temporary, but we had kale and cabbage in there and we thought maybe it would do it, but it was too low, and as soon as the snow came, it sunk down on top of the plants, and then as the snow I melted under there, that then froze to ice, which was sitting right on the plants. So I'm pretty sure all the plants are dead. We'll see. The cabbage still is green. So.
The cabbage isn't dead. The leaves are still quite decent. But you're definitely right, though. There's always some project.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good number of, pretty good number of garlic cloves. What did we plant?
280.
And a little OTT on
Well, yes. So hopefully, it's, it was one of those things because we bought 10 pounds and we separated it out and we thought, 10 pounds should produce, what did we think it was going to? Oh, I don't know. But for canning and everything else, I use a lot. And we use garlic. I want to try making the garlic powder and the chopped up garlic in oil that you can actually can and store. So, we're garlic eaters. We eat a lot of garlic. So we'll go through it.
Although I did figure it, I had a friend that once gave me the tip. If you're starting to get this is pre-airled stuff now, but if you're starting to feel like you're getting a head cold, take a clove of garlic and eat it. And,
awful.
Don't do that on an empty stomach. I'll leave it at that. It didn't go well.
Thank you, me and you. Yes, thumbs up, everybody, would be fantastic. So yes. Titling properly. I already saw, I think there was 3 videos that weren't titled properly that I saw come on today.
I'm pretty sure we did ours.
We did ours, yes. But I'm just saying there were 3 that I noticed. I was just should I put it in the comments to let them know so that they, but then that draws attention to it, which it might not get noticed by the big guys if you don't say anything. So anyway, but we wanted to do shed boards, but too busy to do a video.
There's always next year. I think it's going to keep going.
It's going to escalate. What we said maybe one year eventually it'll just be a Canadian team competing. On the team that we're on, I think there's 7 Canadians.
There's a lot of Canadians.
There's 7, I think, of us on there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, we'll see what we produce. It'll be fun.
Well, that's a lot of snow still.
1.5
But you guys are
feet,
quite a bit.
Oh yeah, but they're
yeah.
Because you're almost Quebec City, right?
Or
past Quebec City.
Should
Anyways,
remember.
we'll pay attention down below for your response on that one.
Yeah, everything broke up here really quick. Like this, the St. Lawrence River, there's been years where it doesn't freeze. And this year...
It froze enough in areas.
Yeah, like there was quite a few people out there, but it broke up super quick. And the ducks are back in, and the geese and everything else that comes. So that's the thing around here. Unless we drive quite a bit, well, I say quite a bit, but like an hour or more north, there's not a lot of ice fishing opportunities anymore. When I was younger, there used to be quite a few, but yeah, some of the places are a little sketchy to go out now.
Like Tiffany's. So, sorry. Let's go hit the 4 feet off the ground. Gets warmer that way. This is the gardens. Yeah. It's a smart idea. So plant big celery, big chili peppers, big cabbage. Well, my cabbage is already planted.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna get big. But...
Yeah, we'll have to see how it does. But we did say today about the celery. Because we'd forgotten to start the celery.
Yeah, well, we didn't forget. We just haven't got there yet. But we basically planned.
And our peppers are already going.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that we've kind of said, we're not really going to change too much in what we would normally do. So if it works out for one of the challenges, great. If it doesn't, then
yeah, we're not really adding anything because it's kind of one of those. We really want to see what we actually produce. We don't want to do anything special and extra just because of Shed Wars.
We want to keep some of the other stuff going, like the seed saving and that too. So we've got to be a little bit more selective on what we grow, just to make it less complicated for ourselves.
Exactly.
But if we can do it, i.e. the celery, then
that's what we bought celery seed to do.
This is going to be the first year we've actually grown it.
I've tried it once.
Grown it,
and it didn't do so well.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
So we'll see.
Yes, go to Canada.
Yes, me and you Acres can also join Team Canada, and Thorhaven. Yes, get those cows going. That will do it. Although the rules are it has to be what you would consume. But then this was our thing today in our video about the, sometimes you harvest a lot more in one year than the next because you kind of like that make hay while the sun shines or whatever. Yeah. It's a case of you have the meat now, you harvest and store it for future years. Then the next year you might not have it. So
yeah, exactly. Well, actually, it's funny because we just unthawed the last 2 pork roasts from when we had our Berkshire pigs. They were still in the freezer. We brought them here with us when we moved.
Yes, 3 years in the freezer, but they're just going for ham and pea soup. But
yeah, it just kind of goes to show you it's not that we don't use it up, but we put 2 very big pigs in the freezer that year, so it lasted a long time.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. It's all quite interesting. It'll be kind of getting that itching feeling to get out and try to do something, but at the same time, there's lots to do. I guess we still have some harvesting we have 1 more ram.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Well, 2 more rams.
Well, but the one we're not doing. One more for us to do. The other one is going to the butcher.
Yeah.
Or the abattoir. What else do we have? We've got a couple rabbit hutches we want to build before things really get going because not this weekend, but the following weekend we should be having some baby rabbits. Yes,
baby bunnies. They're due April Fool's Day, so hopefully it all goes well.
April Fool's is gonna be the most horrible day of the spring because that's what always happens with the rabbits.
Well,
it doesn't matter what time of year you breed them; they always have their babies when it's the worst weather. It's either too cold, too hot, or
Well, that's the nice thing too. The deer in that count for the Shed Wars too. If you're a hunter, they change the dates and stuff so that it worked through hunting season, which is nice.
Yeah, it doesn't work with all of our stuff, but that's fine.
Yeah.
We want to do bees at some point. Again, not this year. We kind of want to get some of our other stuff under control, get some fencing sorted so that we don't have to keep worrying about that too much. And then maybe next year we'll tackle some new projects.
Yeah, exactly. It's I need to get a drink. I'm talking too much.
Oh, that's quite nice. Hopefully you've got, I'm sure where you are, you've got some decent fish you can ice fish for in there too. But it would be nice to have access to something like that. Nice small northern lake.
Oh, very nice. That's really nice.
That's a good question.
I want to say most of us are, I think. Yeah, we kind of went pretty good with getting out and trying to find other Canadians. I think it works.
I think so.
It's not too bad. It's really the one thing we did find is we were, trying to find other channels to follow and things like that. Is sometimes finding Canadians on here on YouTube was a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it wasn't easy like right off the bat.
Yeah,
that's the nice part about.
Or I should say, Canadians doing similar things to us.
Yeah,
should refine that.
Got, what do you have left? You've got everybody bred except 2.
Yeah, so. I have 4 bunnies that I bred that are due on the 1st, and then I bred 2 more that are due 2 weeks later, and then next week or this weekend. We want to wait for the first ones to have their babies, then I will breed the last 3 and rebreed anybody who did not take. But I already have ones that want to nest, so I'm pretty sure everybody was having spring fever.
Like
we've had a giggle with Thorhaven on a live about bunny antics. It was quite the day around there. Although saying that, today it was pig antics.
Oh yeah, you got a video of it. It's actually quite funny.
Oh my gosh, I've never seen pig antics before, but it was quite the thing. We
actually don't. Like right in our local area, we don't have.
There's not very many.
Here. You don't have to go very far to get some pretty good populations, but right where we are, there's not a lot of.
Hey, Sean, Alaska.
Hello.
First live you've ever caught. Well, thank you very much for finding us today. If anybody else doesn't follow Sean Alaska, you should. Great channel. I'm so glad we're always in other lives together. There's usually Sean, Bettina. It's like a circuit.
Yeah,
it is.
It's good.
Yeah.
And like Thorhaven saying, you find more people,
and Darren,
which is awesome.
And Bridget at Thorhaven, and eventually, and you get this little kind of groove, and it's really nice because you get to know people. And I always say it's kind of like going out to the pub or something and sitting around chit-chatting.
Yeah.
Only you can sometimes have a lot more people, especially during COVID.
True. See, I'm keeping up with the chat better tonight.
You're doing a great job. Bettina agrees about finding Canadian channels being tough. It really is. I mean, until you get in there and start, not gonna say networking around, but being a little bit more observant about.
It just takes a while to find everybody.
Once you start though, then you get in the right thing and it works. The rabbit fur is in the freezer.
Right now, we did can.
Where's the ones? I'll go get the ones we did.
Above the thing. We've tanned a couple. By no means are we experts at it. We've got some learning curves to do. But we did the egg tanning method. And it actually, on these 2, it worked quite well. But then we did another one right after it, and it didn't work. So we do have the aluminum sulfate. So
we want to try.
Too. So we're going to see which one we like better.
But here's our 2 that we did. Show and tell again.
Show and tell time.
Show and tell. You need to take that so there's nothing on the screen so people can see it.
How do I do that?
I don't know. What if you click on her again?
There we go.
So this was the first one that we did.
It came out pretty
It needs to be washed.
The bottom too. Came out pretty good.
And it's actually very soft. It didn't go papery or anything. We thought we were experts after the first one. And then we did, pardon me, we did a second one, and it was a bit of an older rabbit and turned out quite well.
Pretty much the same.
The fur stayed nice, and it's a lot thicker fur than the other one. But I don't know if it'll catch the noise, but
it's not very crinkly.
It's a bit more papery sounding. It's a bit rougher, the leather on it. So right now, that's the two that we've done, and then we had one that was a total fail.
So we're not 100% sure why.
So we've kind of said, well, we have a pretty good idea why, because we timed it that we didn't get to it right away, and it sat too long with the tanning on it, is what we think. But it was just one of those things came up, and so now they're all in the freezer. I think we still have 10 more in the freezer. Because until you have a couple days where you can do it from start to finish.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of
because we started it, and then something came up, and it was like a week later before we went back and went, oh gosh, we better wash the egg tan off of it. So hopefully that will work. But what I'm hoping is to make cuffs for mittens out of it. That's my first effort anyways, is going to be, I make mittens out of our Icelandic fleece that I spin. So what I'm hoping to do is a nice kind of cable knit mitten with the rabbit fur cuff, and use my gray Icelandic fleece, and then the nice gray cuff. So that's going to be our first effort anyways. Mm-hmm. So that's probably next winter's project though, because now we're into busy summertime. Anyways, I've rambled on. I probably missed a bunch of stuff.
I don't think we probably won't do too much of the tanning in summer.
Well, Thorhaven uses his. So what method did he say what method he uses? Do you do the egg tan, or do you use the, what's the acid? No.
The aluminum
sulfate. So sorry, what is users? Oh, okay, that's yeah. Yeah, I'm on Joe and Sue's with the Canadian Seed Challenge. Definitely, we found a lot of people through that. Mm-hmm. And yes, me and you forgot to send us a thing, but you were a little late anyways. We'd already closed it. So next year, I already have you wrote down.
Don't worry, though, because we basically got the push from Lori over at Lori's World to do it, because we'd mentioned something to her, and then she sent something back. She's like, so when are you doing it? And we're like, well, okay, we'll do it. And so we only did like a 2-week turnaround to get people
for people in. So
because we didn't want to have it where people were trying to send seeds like, well into the gardening season. So we wanted everybody to kind of get their stuff
in time to do
something with it. So that's poor planning on our part, but it came together really well. So I think we'll definitely do it next year.
Next year we think we're going to put out the notice about it a little earlier, because now we've kind of got a base starting point, and we're just going to grow from that. It was kind of a lot of figuring out for this year, but I think next year will run quite smooth. And then we've done a playlist where we've been keeping everybody's videos, and people have been posting updates and opening their packages and starting their seeds, which is awesome. And quite a few people have even done the single seed challenge with seeds they got from the Canadian Seed Challenge, which is awesome. So we've been pretty excited about that.
I definitely think anybody who's remotely thinking of doing any gardening should try the single seed challenge, because the fellow's name, I can never remember people's names.
Scott Head,
who came up with it. Like, I don't know. It's just a challenge to see if you can do it, but it's neat because there's other little things that are kind of in there. It's like us picking the tomato.
Yeah.
That's something that you can, from one seed, you can grow one plant. You can grow a lot of fruit and a lot of seeds to then come back and do it again.
Well, it's like your Ireland Creek Annie.
Yep.
You originally did from one seed, and now we have thousands.
That's
which is good.
Though.
Yeah.
You need thousands of them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, this is kind of where we're at with the tanning. We're definitely in the learning phase. I have a friend, he does it fairly often with his furs. So that thing though, usually it's the older ones, like a lot of the, what do you call it, like the fryer age rabbits don't apparently make the best fur. You can still do it, but
we find on the young ones the skin is so thin.
It's hard to do stuff.
Like we had The one here, this one here was the first one that I pulled out was a younger rabbit. And I think that's potentially why it's so much softer and not as papery. But at the same time, when we were stretching it, I ripped off pieces. I mean, you can see, right, get it above your thing. You can see right, let me go in here, right there, you'll see a spot where I ripped it. It's just, the skin is so much thinner on the young ones. So we've kind of said every fall we clean house and butcher older rabbits, or we let them get older before we butcher the young ones. And
kind of use those instead for the furs. But on the 28th, there hasn't been one around here in a while that I'm aware of. But I used to go to one actually right across the road from where we live.
We are actually just we're near Kingston. We're about 30 minutes from Kingston. On the going St. Lawrence up.
We're kind of the same.
Ours hasn't come up yet.
No, but we haven't been a full week yet.
Yeah, we have. We planted it Monday, so it's been a full week. For a tomato, that seems a little so I don't know if we're going to have to redo it again and plant another one. But I know yours was you were concerned about whether it was going to have a long enough growing season, right?
Watermelons can be slow to start though. Sometimes
they are usually, yeah,
and they really like the heat. That's the one big thing. We've kind of been experimenting with our grow room a bit. We've got it up. It's almost too warm now, I think, because we're up to like 20 degrees down there. But
we had to downsize to a smaller heater again.
Yeah, so but then it's gotten warmer too. But we were too cold for some things to really germinate well, which is kind of funny when you're trying to grow like lettuce and stuff that generally likes it cooler.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
Well, hopefully ours has come up, but I guess you can always start another one if it doesn't. But or you just document it as single seed challenge, epic fail.
But we have more seeds. So.
We do have more. It was just we were only growing the one, but
yeah, that's just it. I think that's the thing with everything. Like tanning is definitely one of those things, but it's like us with the Icelandic fleece or.
All of it,
like going through the another thing we want to try when we get to it, when we do butcher our geese this fall, is saving the down and doing something with it. So it's all these kind of extra things that you can.
Well, they're kind of like value-added products. That's the thing. Yeah. Like we have the sheep for meat, but they also have beautiful fleece. We did kind of choose that breed in particular. For that. I actually sheared one yesterday because she was dying in the heat. It was plus 17, but
you filmed it. That'll be a good one, actually.
That'll be coming. Really but it is kind of that thing of you get all these things with the plans of what you're going to do with them, and then you have to figure out how to do it. And it's no different than, for example, canning. I mean, I didn't know a thing about canning until I started it, and then you just kind of do it and you fail and you get things right and you try new things, and now it's we can pretty much everything that we need.
Well, and it's that thing of even if it is a quote unquote failure, it really isn't, because you can probably still step back from it for a moment and think of, okay, what should I do differently, or what did I do? There's learning there too. So it's like the rabbit stuff. The big one is you need to allocate that time where you're not going to have other interruptions if you're going to do it. If you're going to do it with the egg tanning, anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see about the other one.
Well, the other one we're going to try too. But everybody said the egg tanning was nice if you just wanted to do one or two at a time, and that's all we were kind of thinking we had time to do because we'd never done it before. So I don't want to give up on it. And the nice thing is we butcher a lot of rabbits, so we will have a lot of hides to kind of figure it out.
Well, and if you make some mistakes, it's kind of better to do it that way.
I'd love to make myself
once you eventually figure it out and get good at it, then you'll have a lot coming. Which is like the fleece. We have a lot of fleece that we collect. But it's the first couple of years it didn't go so well as far as using it for something. And
now we've stored that all, and now that we're better at it, we're using it to stuff buildings for insulation, because
it's still a use.
I did such a bad job shearing them that it's not really worth spinning. Dryer balls maybe, or something like felting, but not for spinning. So she managed to grow some watermelon. Weird pocket. Yeah.
It's amazing how little microclimates or pockets like that make a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of things. Like, because we find that in and I think we've said this before, the property we're on now, where the house is, if you walk back to the first real set of pastures, there's a difference there. Like, it's not the same weather, and you
It's
haven't
like you
gone very
changed
far,
zones.
but it almost sometimes feels like you changed zones. You
Yeah.
haven't, but you get that little bit further away from the St. Lawrence and up on the hill, and it changes.
It does. It does.
But yeah, exactly. Failure is always a chance to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And then failure is the easiest way to explain it, but it's almost nice not to look at it that way, right?
No,
it is a learning experience.
Learning curves.
Putting the positive spin on everything, which is not always easy to do in the moment.
Yeah.
But usually when you come back to it,
yeah,
it's not so bad.
Well, yeah, the watermelon, I think, that's a great single seed challenge for you because of the fact that it might be something that's difficult. So it'd be interesting as a experiment and a challenge.
But it also lets you really focus on the plant too, right? Because when you have, if you plant well, you're not going to plant 30 watermelons, but if you plant a bunch of something, then you can't focus on each individual one as much. Which, on the flip side, some vegetables that are kind of more, I always say more like weedy, like tomatoes and stuff. That's the nice part about them, right? Because you can kind of leave them for a while. But
so I'm
interesting.
On Deborah's about the peppers, I was going to ask, so did you just put the seeds right into the soil? We always start our peppers, you call it sprout them?
Yeah,
in a little bag.
On a wet paper towel.
On a wet paper towel in a bag somewhere nice and warm, like whether you have a heating pad or a wood stove or something like that, you just set them on that. And then we plant them as soon as we see a sprout come out of the seed so that we know that every pepper is...
Well, you can let them get...
Ours had leaves. Yeah. Some of them had leaves.
We just find that if it's too cold, the peppers don't. They just rot usually. But,
yeah. Are the spare ones still over there? No, I don't
think so. They were in rough shape though.
But yeah, definitely we found the heat. The peppers really like the heat, even more so than the water, I think.
Yeah.
It's the heat that seemed to trigger them.
The big thing. Well, thank you for stopping in.
Yes.
We'll definitely be chatting to you sooner than later.
Needs me. Have a great night. Thank you so much for popping in. Oh. But yeah, we've got a whole bunch of other stuff that we've got to get started for garden season for sure.
Well, what's our next things? Our tomatoes, but we can hold off.
Tomatoes. We need to do celery because
celery. We need to do
cauliflower.
Well, yeah, you want to plant some cauliflower.
Hey, Chris Hickorycroft. That's like a tongue twister. I get almost there, and then I still. It does. I don't know how many times I've said it a few times now, and I'm like, we're going to a live, be like, Chris Hickorycroft's there. Did you say hi? And yeah, but
we've got the broccoli. We want to do tomatoes, cauliflower, the celery, some other herbs like you want to do some basil and stuff.
Yeah.
There's more for our first round. We're hoping to do a couple of rounds, which is where between the grow room, when we get the last few lights, and finishing the greenhouse, we're really hoping we get a lot of space.
Yeah.
To be able to move things around and get them outside and growing, because it won't all fit in the house.
Yeah.
Well, it would. We'd have to get rid of some other stuff.
The ongoing conversation of getting rid
of junk to have more growing space.
Yeah. But it's feeling a little bit like outside's not too far off, but we'll see what April brings.
It'll probably, who knows?
Yeah. I haven't looked at the long range forecast for a little bit now, so
they could be drying out then. If you do have the heat mat under them. So yeah, but sometimes we find you really have to pay attention to them for the first bit. But you could try covering them with depending on what your pot's like.
Is a saran wrap?
Yeah, I was going to say just to keep the moisture in. That might help. I'm not 100% sure what you've got for a setup, but that's just something to think about. At least until they get up. Usually once you get them
started
coming through the soil, then it's not so bad. But that first little bit.
I think that's the one thing I like about starting them in the baggie.
They don't run out of the moisture.
Well, no, it was the fact that you can see because the waiting for them to come up is the part. I mean, I don't want to poke at them because I know I shouldn't. But at the same time,
our single seed tomato.
Oh, yeah. It's just like, well, is it too dry? Is it too wet? Is it doing anything? Because it's buried in the soil. We didn't do the baggy method for it, so
yeah. Well, that's all right.
I think we maybe should have done the bag method. Then we would know for sure. But patience is not my strong suit.
Mm-hmm. So on that note, do you want to try something that we set up just to see how it works?
Yeah, sure, we can.
We're gonna. You guys are all going to be our
guinea pigs.
We're going to try something.
Today was the first day of Shed Wars, and are being able to tally
our weight
or weigh our harvests and tally things. So we kind of did a little short video on that, which we were kind of hoping to share in our live. Now, this is really something. Short. It's really short. It's like what, a minute and 20 seconds or something.
Yeah, it's something.
But we've never done a sharing a video in StreamYard, so this is going to be an experiment. So hopefully it works to share it with you, to show you our harvest. And if it's not working, or for some reason you don't have sound or anything, just write a little comment so that we know, and we'll see if we can stop it, because we won't know if we can stop it either.
I'm sure we can, but
it's totally learning as we go.
So here we go. We're gonna try it. Tech experiment.
Yeah.
It's
so let's see if it works.
Official start to Shed Wars. So let's go gather some eggs. First box has 4. And I see one over in the corner, but I'm not going to bother getting that right now. Second hatch. Only 1. And 1 lonely egg in the barn. It's kind of like an Easter egg hunt. So I'm going to go back for that last one that we had in the first hatch. Can't do it with my phone though. So in total, 7 eggs today. Now also, March 23rd, we get to count this kale salad harvest for dinner tonight.
This is true.
Let's go up and weigh it. Mm-hmm. We're at 0. 163 grams. And now we're weighing our eggs from today. We got 8 eggs from our girls, which is good because we usually eat about a minimum of 6 a day. So it's nice to get a little bit of a bank pile. $419 grams.
So that's it. It worked.
That was our harvest. Yeah, it worked. We weren't sure. But anyways, we were kind of excited. We just wanted to document it. We're not probably going to do a video type documentation of every day. We just, we've got a chart. Where's our little chart there? Pass it over. We've made a chart.
We adapted the one.
Adapted it for a weekly sheet that we can then fill out to get our weekly weigh-in totals to then post to Shed Wars. But
that's not bad for.
We just wanted to kind of share it. So I see Chris's Clever Craft says that they are talking about. I hope they're not talking good and not bad.
Hopefully not. We feel kind of bad that we're not in there, but
yeah,
we can't multitask.
But
yes, your
maple syrup would count now, as long as it's harvested after whatever the start date is.
Yeah. Now I think with maple syrup, they probably would.
It would be what it weighs in the final product.
I would imagine.
Boiled down weight.
That would be a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Like, this is where I think we're serious about it because we want to see how much we grow, but we're not so serious about it in that term because, like, maple syrup's a a high value
Well, and the other
product,
thing we
right?
should clarify is you can only count the maple syrup that is for you.
Yeah.
You can't count anything that is
You
for
sell
selling.
or whatever.
Like right now, it's like we counted our eggs. Right now, all of our eggs we have been consuming, but
or collecting
for our consuming and storing. But it's like next week coming up, we're probably going to collect some hatching eggs to sell. So we wouldn't be counting them.
We'll still keep track of it for our own self,
for personal,
but not part of the, obviously.
Yeah, but no worries, me and you. I hope that the goat labor does go well.
Yes. Hopefully it goes quick.
Yes.
They're better.
I can't remember. Were these ones that were they first timers or had they had kids before? Were they first timers? Not you guys being first timers. I mean the goats. Awesome that it worked good. We were
kind of a fun little thing. We just found out that, hey, you can do that with StreamYard. So
yeah.
like,
well, we don't have, from what I understand, in order to be able to do your live from your phone, you have to have, I'm not sure if you have to be monetized or you'd have to have 1,000 subscribers. We haven't fully looked into that yet. So we can't be mobile with our live because of the desktop thing. But anyways, this is nice because it allowed us to share a little bit of it anyways. So,
but yeah, it's definitely, even when it's processed, it's still heavy. But kind of where I was going with it is, this is the hard part with some of it, right? Because you've got like your poundage, and kind of like the video
gardening in the north
today. Hi. Kind of like the video we did today where we were talking about like how much do you need to grow and whatnot. But obviously, like some products like maple syrup's a sugar product, that's a higher value product, right? Than you know, potatoes are great, they give you a lot of poundage, but they're that starchy. I don't know. It's
Come on says we can do it from StreamYard with our phone.
Oh. Well,
really?
We may have to try that.
We might have to try that. We thought you had to be 1,000. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut in, but that's exciting news.
More techie stuff to figure out.
Yay!
I thought we were doing pretty good today.
But on the maple syrup front, I mean, well, us, for example, we go through at least 10 liters a year. I mean, 10 liters has to be quite a few pounds.
Well, that's with the kids and stuff too.
Yeah, but I mean, if I was growing it, or not growing it, harvesting it, I would probably use a lot more because people use it as sweeteners in coffee and all that sort of stuff. We don't, because it's like,
well, and the kids like it too, right?
That's,
that's part of why we go through so much, because they like it.
We're pancake people.
Yeah, pancakes.
We eat pancakes at least once a week.
Good night, Remy.
Good night, Rem.
Thank you very much for coming in.
For coming,
we'll be chatting to you sooner than later.
Yeah. So come on, it works, huh? Now, are you doing that on your data, or does it have to still be on Wi-Fi? Just out of curiosity, we're going to pick your brain since you've done it. Because, that changes the game.
Yeah.
Well, because we'd like to be able to do garden tours and stuff like that, but we were like, oh, you have to be at 1,000 to do it.
Hopefully it'll all come.
Yeah.
But that's cool about making the actual sugar.
Exactly. Because that, again, for Shed Wars purposes, that still counts.
Mm-hmm. And I actually like it in coffee. You don't so much.
I like honey.
You like the honey better, but
yeah,
this is that thing, right? Like we did the stuff with the sugar beets, and we're definitely going to keep growing them and hopefully ramp that up this year. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we would like to get bees. We would like to do the maple syrup, and I think maple syrup's a good example because, at least for where we are, because we don't have a lot of trees, you get a bad year and you don't get much, right? So it's kind of nice to always have those backups where you could, still get that sugar product.
Well, what was it? We were doing notes from, it was for our video that we did today for Shed Wars. Yes, we want to make the sugar beet syrup. We even looked it up.
Yeah, we almost, when we were processing,
I can't pronounce the name of it that you gave us, but we did look it up.
Because when we boiled it down, we got to that syrup state, and we almost, even before we knew like it was a real thing that people did, we almost stopped there because we're like, this is really good, but we just wanted to, for that batch, to take it right to the sugar.
Yeah.
Sort of be proof of concept that yes.
But the other thing too is we said if we do it to the syrup state, we can can it, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I was in mid thought before I saw that, but I don't remember what I was talking about anymore.
Maple syrup.
I don't know.
It might come back to you.
It might come back. If it was important.
I don't know what
maple syrup. Well, we paid $22 for a liter.
Yeah.
If you buy the bigger containers, the price comes down a little bit because we bought 2-liter ones last year. We got 4 2-liters, and then we got a couple 500 mils.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, even if you go to the 4, we saved all of our little pop bottle, what do you call those?
Yeah,
Flip lid.
They're saying 22 for 1 liter.
Yeah. That's what we paid for ours. And then I think a 4-liter was 64. Mm-hmm. 64 or 68, I think.
One or the other.
But anyways, it definitely is. It's pricey here too. So
65. So,
yeah. So what did he say?
65. I'm going to go back up, but yeah. See, this was kind of our thing of why, because we don't have a lot of trees, but this was our thing of why we held off, because we're like, we could go get a couple buckets, try it, whatever. That proof of concept, but at the same time, like, we know it's going to work.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that. Do you just bite the bullet and get set up enough
to
do it proper right from the beginning?
Yeah.
And that was kind of why we.
Well, and my thing was, because all of our trees are in a line, I think it makes much more sense to not do buckets.
Yeah, we could totally do it. But we're kind of at this stage where, despite the fact that we still do experiments and we still try new things, and we're really looking at things closely, like.
But we know the things that we want to get into.
We know things we want to get into, but we're looking at a lot of projects going, we could do it this year, but is that going to put us over the edge of taxing this out? Because I think you even pointed at me in today's video, and then you kind of corrected it was both of us. But we've been. No,
I meant like this.
Yeah,
I meant like
both of us. But been bad for in the past going, we can just do that. We can just add that. Like, kind of like you say, if you're doing 10, why not do 100? Maple syrup's a little different. But it's like the bees.
That's his theory on chickens. If you got 10, you might as well have 50.
Well, I'm not quite that way.
Okay, 30.
Well, to some degree, but yeah. So we're just trying to keep things manageable, and then we've got a lot on the go as it is. Get that stuff up and running well, and then go to the next thing. But definitely, optimistically, by next year, it'd be nice to get going with maple syrup.
Yeah.
Maybe even
I think the maple syrup will come on one year, and then it'll be bees on another, because I think you need to have things set up. Bees, I feel more comfortable with maple syrup than I do with bees, because you really can't kill the trees. I mean, you might screw up on your maple. Well, okay, you might screw up on your maple syrup or whatever, but the trees will still be there. But if you screw up on your bees, the bees are gone, and then you've got to start over. And that to me is a scary thought, because I mean, I've had so many people that we know that have gotten into bees and lost hive after hive, and it's just like, and
bees are
people that have done it for years. So I mean,
bees are kind of a different livestock, right? Because to some degree, sheep, goats, cows, horses, pigs, for example, like, they're not the same, but
the basic concepts of it are the same.
Yeah, there's still mammals. There's still same with like birds, right? It doesn't really matter what the bird is. There's enough similarities. If you can do one, you can probably figure out the next one. But bees is switching to insects. It's totally different. So,
you say, take like Sue's saying there, take the course first.
Mm-hmm.
We're lucky because we have a couple friends that we know that do it and do it well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just find it a bit of a daunting thing to get into, because it's a big investment to start. Well,
and it's like the rabbit tanning, right? You do the experiment, and we know with the rabbit tanning, you have to do things at certain times, and we've learned that now. But that's not a really big loss. You just kind of out that. It sounds bad, but you're out the skin. But the bees, if we get, it's like if we were to do it right now and go, okay, we'll get the hive, even take the course, whatever. I don't know. I think we're a little too busy to make.
We have about a 20% chance of survival with our track. It's not a track record, but you know what I mean. Like, it's biting off more than we can chew, which is what we
for this year,
often do
for this year.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to the shedware stuff of why we're not going to really change a lot for it, just because we know we're going to produce a lot of food. We don't know how much, but we're going to produce food. Just and we do have quite a bit of food stored too. That's the other thing, right? Like, because Bettina had a really good point. We haven't responded yet, but we did read it about because your point about if we thought we were going to be short on meat, if we could buy a steer or buy a pig and grow it out, we definitely could. But even though we may not in 2021 produce the meat we would like to produce on a yearly basis. For example, our pigs aren't going to have babies that are going to be butcher size by the end of the year. The sheep we're a little bit late, so we might get them done in December, but it's probably going to be a little
next
later.
year.
But in the long term, it still doesn't really matter, because some, like the sheep, it's going to be early in 2022, and we've still got ones in the freezer from this year.
We're not going to starve.
Yeah, we're still good. It's that other part about some of this growing your own food where you kind of have your year, but the more you get going and the longer term you're doing it and the more you try and do yourself, the more that year just kind of balloons out to a lot of things are taking, more than a calendar year but they have that kind of like what you said to Thorhaven when he was still in here about the cow. You put 2 cows in the freezer.
You might not do it every year. It's got a big impact that year, but then you might not have that the next year. So it all balances out in the end.
Yeah, exactly. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
We've got more than one thing on the go right now. So
I don't know if I could even choose one thing. I'm just as, we're just as bad as each other for wanting to do so much. My big thing is the craft side of things, the fleece, the furs, that side of things, and wanting to make use of it all and not waste anything. And then you end up storing so much stuff with the hopes of doing something.
Well, yeah, but you still. But at the end of the day, it's like the fleece. You're not out anything really.
Because it was the byproduct.
It's a byproduct from the principal reason you have them. So.
Well, the nice thing is it's all developing skills that who knows, you might need them one day. So
exactly.
But
exactly.
Yeah. But I think it's been awesome. I'm so glad that our
little video thingy worked.
Yeah. I think that was kind of cool. But I think we might come to a close here.
Yeah, I think so for tonight. But definitely
try and do an earlier night. Anyway.
Try and do an earlier night.
but
thank you everybody for stopping in.
Yes.
And definitely. Well, this is kind of our new time, or our regular time now.
Yeah, 8:30. We do, for those in here that are part of the Canadian Seed Challenge, I think next week on our live, we're going to kind of because we mentioned about doing it the end of March, doing one with Lori. We haven't actually talked to Lori about that yet, but I think maybe next Tuesday. We did a long time ago, but I think next Tuesday we'll just make our live one that is going to be part with the Canadian Seed Challenge. Not just that, but put it out there so that if anybody has any questions or things they want to share or little tidbits, we will kind of address those, I guess you could say, in the thing.
It's because I'll say this because I can do the carding. I can shear, usually do it because I'm working sort of thing. And you just kind of go out and take an hour and shear one. But
well, they're good now.
That's the parts that I partake in. You're the one that actually has the skills because you can take it to a finished product, and you're getting pretty good at spinning.
My spinning is improving. Yes, that's in my next video. I'm working on it because that's something that I really want to do with this particular fleece. I know you've watched the where I washed it. I don't think I actually filmed shearing Enya last year, but I washed all of her fleece. And then I did the video with the carding. And so I want to do my final video showing from start to finish all of that fleece spun.
You're almost done.
And I'm almost done. So we've got the spinning process and all the how-to part, but I need to get it all spun so I can lay all the skeins out on the table to show people. I want to show what you get from one fleece, basically, of the Icelandic. So I'm almost there. I'm hoping by next week to have that part finished, but I just kind of squeeze it in like half an hour here and there of the spinning. So, but it is almost done. So that's kind of cool. And I'm really happy with that little series or whatever you want to call it.
It is amazing though how well it wears, the Icelandic fleece. I've got we both have a pair of, they're basically socks, and I wear them all the time, and they wear really, really well.
I should do, and hopefully I'll do a little bit of a video on the some of the stuff we make with the product. But
yes, exactly.
Silver maples, you can, right? They're just,
you can. They just The one that you can, but the one that people don't usually do is manto maple because it's supposed to have a different flavor. So I've heard
people use it.
We've heard mixed results. We've heard some people say just tap manto maple. You still have that. You're boiling a lot more of it to get anything out of it. But if it's got a caramelly type flavor or something, never tried it. Only read that, and I've talked to a few people that have said that. But they do say don't mix it with the other maple. Yeah. Whereas I know silver and red, you can mix it with the sugar maple. You just boil, like Jones, you said, you're just boiling a lot more.
Yeah, but it is, yes. I'm really enjoying sharing the progress, and I do want to show the final product. I'm also going to include, I've got some skeins of, because I never work one fleece complete because I don't tend to use that much wool at a time. Like when I make a mittens, 2 skeins will make, because it's 2 different colors in each mitten, 2 skeins will make 2 pairs of mittens, and that pretty much takes me like months. So I usually just spin what I need of a color, and I just keep everything else in a box until I want to spin it again. So this is my first time actually spinning start to finish a whole fleece. And so but I do want to also include some of the other skeins of the different colors and things that we have, because they look so beautiful, all the natural colors that come from the Icelandic. And when you lay them all out, it's really quite neat to see them.
And you can do a lot with it.
Oh yeah.
Mix and matching.
Yeah, and I do want to start getting some spinning some thinner stuff and doing a bit of blankets and things with them. But that's another I wish type project. Yeah.
Well, eventually, Bettina's saying here, there is definitely all sorts of little tools and gadgets.
And also, after you'd sent me that picture of the spinning wheel that you'd seen, I did look it up, and it was missing a few pieces. There's another piece that should have been on the side, but it would have been neat. I've never spun on one like that, but it probably would have been neat. It's kind of, a lot of people seem to use these upright ones where it's just a single wheel that spins right in front of them. And I've never learned on those. I just have well, you'll see it in the video coming up, but it's just a traditional Ashford. It just looks like a traditional spinning wheel. Actually, I have 2 of them.
Yeah, we've got another one that it's again missing a couple parts.
Yeah.
But we will eventually get around to replacing them and getting it working.
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
I'll learn how to do it.
Well,
maybe could do it.
Maybe. And Alex wants. I have a loom as well that Alex would like to do some weaving on eventually, but she's a little young, and so I find it's.
She's not quite there yet.
No, she's not quite there.
The nice part about it, if you store it well, like you say with the fleece, and especially once you've got it spun, if you store it well, it's got a almost indefinite shelf. Well, indefinite in the terms of like our lifetime.
Yeah.
Shelf life, right? So it's not one of those things you have to. It's not like meat or produce where you get it and you've got to do something with it right away.
Yeah. It's like the rabbit furs. As long as they're to this point and you store them right, it doesn't matter when you use them. But you should look up, I don't know if you've seen them, the Icelandic sweaters. Oh, nice. They are absolutely beautiful. They've got such gorgeous patterns. And they do the mittens with the same thing, with the pattern, with all the different colors. I'd love to learn to do that. I will admit I'm kind of self-taught in the knitting. My grandmother taught me to make my Newfie mittens, and that's basically all I ever made. So I'm sort of now teaching myself how to make socks. Well, YouTube has come in very handy for that.
You learned how to crochet.
And the crocheting, yeah, because I'd never done the crocheting before. But the loom, I did join a weaving. I did join the Kingston Weaver Spinners and Weavers Guild, and did a little bit of work with some ladies there on how to use my loom, because I had no idea.
We also need the big nasty picker thingy that you put the fleece through.
The fleece picker.
Those are kind of scary.
But,
put your hand stuck in that.
Yeah, we still need a lot more implements, and my loom is only it's only a 24-inch, so it's really nice for making scarves, or you could do like table runners or placemats. I wouldn't do that out of wool, but I have done the scarves out of wool. But I'd like to get a bigger one, like a 40, 42, 46, 48 inch, whatever. I don't know what size they come in exactly, but I would like to eventually get a bigger one that I can make blankets, because they are very beautiful. But eventually I have to card it, or shear it, card it, wash it, spin it, all those sorts of things too. It was really funny because we actually tracked for a pair of mittens. If you count the time to shear, the time to wash, card, spin, and knit them, it was 83 hours for a pair of mittens.
From start to finish.
From start to finish, which is absolutely crazy because, I mean, I sell them, I think, for, was it $40? But it's just sort of something to do, and it does use the product. So,
yeah. But in the same sense, if you're using it for yourself, this is the problem, or not problem, that's the thing with all of it, right? When you factor in your value of your time, if you're going to go that way with it, none of it is none of it's worthwhile.
It's the same with the quilting stuff and that. You really don't get paid for it.
No, but it's
I might make $1 an hour if not even.
Yeah, but it's the
50 cents an hour
too, right? Because you've made a bunch of mittens for us.
Oh yeah.
Which, they last quite a while, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what I say. They wear really, really well. So you're spending 80 hours on it, but it's not like you're going and making a pair every year.
What else would I be doing, really?
Well, no, but it's not like you're having to make. I say it. This sounds bad, but it's not like you have to sit there and knit a pair of mittens for everybody every year.
No,
that pair of mittens you make is going to last for quite a few years. Yeah, and they do, which is a nice part. So
yeah, no, it is. It's very
different from buying like a dollar store pair of gloves.
Yes, yes.
You know you're going to.
Well, yeah, they're definitely quality. It's just kind of one of those things when you start breaking it down and actually looking at it.
Another thing that works too is like storing. If you're going to store it away and not be using it regularly, would be a cedar chest.
Yeah,
helps keep them away too, because that's something that they recommend with the rabbit furs. Like we have to do that before it gets warm. Either pack them in cedar shavings or get them into a cedar chest. But
yeah. I wonder if you can use, because I got cedar essential oil.
It would probably work too.
You just have to put it on a cloth or something.
Be careful with the cats because it does things right.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You can also take cedar boughs and put them in around it too, because that'll repel them. I don't know if it's quite as effective, but it does work because it kind of the smell gets in everything.
Yeah.
They don't like cedar, white cedar. The many uses of it. It's even edible.
Oh gosh, Chris made tea out of it. It was awful. It was so awful.
It's really hit and miss. The problem is like
in the raw product, I mean you could get $40 a fleece.
But you've got a really small market.
Yeah, a very small market of people that want it. That do their own spinning and everything anymore. But you could sell the raw product. We've kind of looked into the getting it processed and selling it as yarn. And that there is a little bit of, profit margin, sort of, because our main product from them is meat. So that's the part that they're really recouping their funds on. So because this is a byproduct, even if you were only making an extra $1 or $1.50 a skein, you're not kind of coming out of pocket because you had to feed them and everything, because we were doing that anyways. But the big problem with the Icelandic is you really have to be on the ball with the shearing in order to get them processed, because
basically most of the places that will, like the mills and stuff that will do it, even the smaller ones, they're not set up for the long wool.
No, it has to be less than 6 inches.
There are a few around, but it gets into a specialty thing, and
then it gets expensive, and you have to send it far to get it done. But if I can get on the ball to do the twice a year shearing and make sure that it's done when their fleece is the right length, you could get it processed. And
some you have to watch too, because the Icelandics come in all the different colors. Like the biggest mills don't like to do anything with color; they only like white, because white.
Then they don't have to change clean their card.
They can just put through the next thing, and whatever's left. I'm kind of saying that wrong, but if there's any hairs left on it, they don't worry about it. Whereas the other way, if there's black hairs left on it, then they process a white fleece, then there's that kind of cross-contamination fleece color.
But it's all things that we do want to look into and kind of go with. Right now, like I say, we're stuffing our buildings for the pig barns and things like that, because it's great insulation for in the wintertime. So
it's still value, because then you're not buying that.
Well, I probably have 30 fleeces bagged up from over the years. We've had Icelandic sheep for. Thanks very much, Sue, for coming in. It was great to chat with you. Have a great night.
Thank you. We're probably going to head.
Yeah, we're wrapping. We're just finishing our little chit chat about wool.
We can just keep talking.
But yeah, it is a case of, at this point, I'm going to have 12 sheep that I shear this spring, and I sheared 14 last year with the lambs. So it ends up being a lot of fleece every year, and those first few years when I didn't do such a good job at it, I'm just going to not even look at those anymore.
Well, and some of the winter fleeces are the ones. The spring fleeces.
The big ones to hang on to are the lamb ones.
The summer fleeces and the lamb fleeces are definitely, but
some of the spring fleece isn't always back. I was reading what she said, isn't always so good. Although saying that, I'm going to post it on Instagram or something. I just did a little video of our ram and his fleece out back. Gray. It's nice. Absolutely silver, beautiful to die for fleece. And I said to Chris, it's supposed to rain next week, so he's coming in the barn so that it does not get dirty, because I want that fleece. But
we looked into the Leicesters too. We looked into quite a few breeds, but because they're known for a nicer. They're short. Depends. There's one of them has. Oh, I'm going to get honest. I thought one the blue face. Leicester has a short, but there's like 3 of them. I can't remember. I'm not an expert on sheep breeds, but how's it gone so far? Any
more babies yet? We'll find this out, and then we're going to
head out.
Yeah, say goodnight after we find out if she's still there.
But yeah, it's kind of like the meat discussion, right? A lot of these, the more you have to depend on somebody else for it, the harder it gets to make it, economically viable. And then you're are you better off to just do it for yourself? Yeah. Because it's like the food part, definitely. But
she's still preggers. Well, thank you for the update all the same. We will watch for your community tab post, because that's so awesome that you guys have those now.
Yes, that is awesome.
And yes, we're excited to get to that step. But she's a crier. Uh-oh. Well, I hope that you're not kept up all night. Maybe it'll happen quick once it gets going. But
it often does.
Yeah. But I don't know. We went through a lot of goat labors. Mm-hmm. But pregnant, not.
It might just be going through the motions, though.
Yeah. Acting.
Some of them are. We always found some of them are way more dramatic than others. We had the one. Didn't you say you didn't even know she was going to go? She came in. She turned around. The baby came out, and then she turned around and said, "Like that was out."
Yeah. Oh, and she whipped around. Another one came out.
Yeah. But then we've had others. They.
And then we've had others where they press their heads against the wall and they just moan, and they, like you say, kind of cry, and it's just like a constant head back and forth pressed against the wall. But
hopefully it goes well.
Hopefully it goes well. We look forward to the update, a positive one. But on that note, we've got our update from me and you. So
yes, I think we're going to go.
Time to sign off, but thank you guys for coming in. And
yes, thank you. It's been great. It's been great chatting.
Yes, it's been a good chat, and we look forward to next week and talking to everybody all over again.
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have some more exciting news. Who knows? Excitement. Yeah, nothing too crazy, but hopefully. Watch, we'll have sheep because they surprise us.
I don't think that's possible.
No, I don't think so. But anyways.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.